Back for a riveting second season, this is Mad Fans with a Podcast.
Resistance is futile. Hello? Like we said earlier, this is Man Fans with the Podcast. I'm Alexis.
I'm James.
And I'm Scott.
And we're awesome.
So, we do. And we're back for a second season after going on a little hiatus. And this season is all about, since it's the 50th year of the show, revisiting each and every Doctor. So, we have a lot to do, so we should get started. But
Yes,
before we do any of that, though, we have our new news segment. So,
yes.
The biggest story, which of course happened while we were on hiatus, is Matt Smith, who plays the 11th Doctor, is bowing out of the show at the end of this year.
Woohoo!
Oh, snap.
Okay. I can explain it.
Okay.
I absolutely hate his character. Now, as an actor, I think he is fantastic.
Yes,
But
I agree.
I don't like the way it was written. Very, very childish and hipsterish and too romantic. But we've gone up to that before.
Yes, like Scott said, I disagree with him on some points. I do like him as an actor. I actually enjoy him as the Doctor more than some others, but that just might be a personal preference. But yeah, there were some severe. I wasn't going to. So take a deep breath. And just hold it, James. I heard that. Anyway, but that's a whole nother debate that we could get into. But I agree with Scott. I don't like some of the writing choices that were made. But other than that, if it weren't for that, I would have enjoyed his Doctor a lot more. But we'll be talking about his...
Oh, go ahead.
Go on.
Oh, I was
We'll be talking about... Oh, go on.
Damn it! You go. You finish up what you're going to say, then tell me to go.
We'll be talking about his Doctor more later tonight, so we can really dive into it. So, continue.
Okay, I was going to say, since we're talking about Matt Smith leaving currently, I was going to say, personally, the only connection I have to Matt Smith that I like is the fact that when I first started watching Doctor Who, he was the Doctor. He had recently taken over, and he was the Doctor I watched. All of his stuff were on Netflix, and he was the one I watched in its entirety first. Then I went back and I watched Tenet in the order of Donna, Martha, and Rose. Yes, I watched them backwards, and then I got around to watching 9. I watched the entirety of the new stuff backwards. I don't know why. It didn't make any sense to me at the time, but now that I've finished 9, I can look back and say, wow, that was a poor life decision. I really should have watched them in the order they were meant to be watched. So,
wonder why.
Y'all know my weird Doctor Who schedule sort of thing. It's like I watched 2 episodes of 9, went back and watched 4, and then I continued with 9, and then I went back and watched more 4, and then I started watching the second Doctor, and then the first Doctor, and it was all sorts of weird.
See, what happened with me is I went to watch 9, and I didn't like him. I did not enjoy watching 9 first, so I went over and I watched 11 because I had watched a couple of episodes of him, and I decided to finish off the rest of his season. And then I decided to ease myself into 9. I watched a couple of more episodes, couldn't really get into it, went back, watched all of Tenet, and then I forced myself to watch 9, and I liked it. So, but anyway, we're getting off topic, and we should get back to other news in the world of Doctor Who.
Yeah. But yeah. Am I the only one who watched the new series in order? Oh my
I
gosh.
I watched it in order,
I
but I
think
just
I
kind of
am
had it
in this
separated.
whole entire universe. But okay, moving on. Um,
The Indiegogo
yeah, I
thing.
started with 9, continued on, caught up with the new series, and then with Classic Who, it's just all over the place.
Yes.
Best way to do it.
Anyway,
Well,
piece of
that
news, and this
truly, like what
isn't
Scott said.
really news,
Watching,
more of a shout out.
yeah,
Um,
truly
a
watching Classic Who. I mean, it's almost not suggested to watch it in order because I mean, each episode arc is kind of its own story, and unless it's like Day of the Daleks,
so
where there's
a
two.
I believe they were a father and daughter.
Huh? I'm sorry. I think we're losing track of something here. I'm so
We're losing
confused.
track. I don't know where I am.
I
Oh
I
don't.
don't know
God!
where I am.
Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey,
Oh
who
God,
turned out the
no.
lights?
We're
Don't
Hey,
blink.
no.
turn out the lights.
Anyway,
Okay, so let me
so
finish my thought, and then we'll do the Indigo Go Go thing. Um, yeah, I know. Classic Who not meant to be watched in order. Okay, your turn.
no.
Except for Key to
Yes.
Time.
Except for Key at a Time. Watch Key at a Time in order.
Okay.
Don't do
Yeah.
what I did.
Okay. But like I was about to say, the a father and daughter team started an Indiegogo campaign to launch a TARDIS into orbit because it was the 50th year of the show, and how else are you going to celebrate? And they have reached their goal, and
And then
they are either go on.
I was gonna say, and then some. They reached more than their goal.
Yes, they did. That is true. So they will be launching it. They are preparing to launch it, and that should be something that is happening soon. So if you see a random TARDIS flying around, you know why.
Okay, now all you Donnas and Marthas and Sarah Janes and Leelas out there, and any other companion that I can't think of off the top of my head,
Harry.
don't in Perry's. Well, Perry's just stay away. Um,
No.
Oh, aw.
okay, all the Perrys and
Oh,
Mel's and
whose boob is
Zoe.
I'm gonna look at?
Elizabeth
Who's
Shaw can stay away, but
Well, you know what? I'm going to be like the next Jamie. That is me. I'm going to go out in my skirt and I am going to say, Doctor! Ach! Something like that.
look at the size of that thing.
Feeling that thing's big. Wait. Okay, never mind.
Oh god.
Never mind.
Was this going somewhere?
That... Don't mind me. The conversation just got derailed. Ugh. But anyway,
But
on.
I have a rumor.
Rumor has
yes.
it. Ooh, ooh.
All right. This now for all of you who don't want potential life-changing spoilers.
Like we
Turn
know somebody out there who doesn't like them.
yes. Just turn
Life
away for
changing.
about
Wow.
turn away for about a minute or two. And we'll be
Don't
back.
turn away. Plug your ears. Can't
Same.
turn away from a computer and ignore things.
Um basically the big rumor that's going around right now, and I've seen this on several websites, is that the BBC has gotten a hold of most of the missing episodes from the first and second Doctor. Now, whether that is true or not remains to be seen, but I did hear something a couple years ago about a guy that was trying to re-record them from signals that had bounced back from space. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. But
Well,
I have... Go ahead.
oh, I was going to say specifically, they they beam the radio signals into space anyway. So I just watched Futurama the other night, and they had a very very similar situation on there where they had like sent a TV signal into space, and some aliens on a different planet were watching it, and the show ended up being canceled here on Earth, and then 1,000 years later, the last signal beamed to that planet, and the aliens of that planet were very angry that their show was canceled, and they came back and demanded the show be written out in a very exclusive way. Scott, I'm sure you know what episode I'm talking about.
Yes. Single
But
I
female
know what you're
lawyer.
talking about. I
I
know, yeah.
I can just imagine something like that would happen. You know, bring back
Well,
the seventh Doctor. Bring back the sixth Doctor. I am Lur
Yeah.
of the planet Omicron Persei 8.
um, Two arcs that they have said have been said to be completed. Again, all rumors. The 10th Planet with William Hartnell. The fourth episode was missing, or possibly still is, and that is the one where he regenerates into the second Dr. Patrick Troughton. And
Oh, well,
Evil of the Daleks, which is,
An awesome.
I think, one of the first second Doctor arcs. I need
It
to
actually,
brush back
Evil
up
of
on that.
Daleks is the first appearance of Zoe, I believe. No, wait, that's the Wheel. Never mind.
Yeah, no,
I was going
it's
to say
Victoria, wasn't it?
the Evil of the Daleks brings out a new companion. I do remember
I'm fairly
seeing
certain it was
that Evil
Victoria.
of the Daleks introduces a new companion.
Oh, yeah, Victoria Waterfield.
Yes, Debbie Watling,
Only
beautiful woman.
only one of the 7 episodes is held in the BBC archives. 6 remain missing. Hopefully not anymore.
Well,
um, I know.
here's a crazy thing. I mean, they have all of the audio for all of these missing episodes. They have the audio. What they need to do is they need to animate over it. And they were animating the 10th Planet, and I did see a couple of clips from it,
They
and I was
they
so
did animate.
disappointed.
They have also animated The Invasion. They animated episodes. I think it was 4 and no, it was two and
Three.
two and 3 or something like that.
I was
That were
so
missing.
disappointed in the animation because, me personally, I'm so used to fan made stuff that they take the time and the dedication to make it look good. And this kind of stuff looks like, children's television nowadays. It looks horrible.
Yeah, but it did bring it to at least a closure at least.
Which is nice. A no on them doing the 10th planet, which, like you said, includes the first Doctor's regeneration. Um, they are, and I don't know if this has been sent out yet, but I did see a while back that they were sending out that, or there were rumors of them doing like a box set of regeneration stories, it looked like. So I wonder if that could be, they're waiting for that to be released, for them to release kind
Oh,
of that and be like, oh, we have this now, so now it's
would love
complete, which would be awesome.
I would love that actually. But you see, the trouble is, I mean,
Hmm.
if you're collecting all of these, like all of these episodes, and you come out with a box set that has some of these episodes that you've already bought, then it's kind of like, why do I need to buy this box?
Yeah,
I have all these episodes already. But I mean, if
that
you're
would
like
be
me,
very annoying.
I
That is
I,
true.
I buy all the episodes individually, so I quite enjoy it. But yeah, I was just another thing I have to comment on. Why are Doctor Who DVDs so friggin' expensive? Okay, just had to get that off my chest.
They are.
They
There's
are.
so
They were. There were some classic. The new series is outrageous. I,
definitely.
I can't even talk about it. But they did have them, and I went back to Best Buy. They had like classic story arcs, like on sale for, like $10 or so, which, as compared to what I've seen them as, isn't bad. And then I went back, and they weren't there,
Oh
and I
Remind
was
me to
no.
go to
so
Best Buy.
just. I don't know, but a while back ago they were there, and I did not have lay monies at the time. And then I went back, and they had disappeared. It's like I had imagined the whole thing. I thought I had lost my marbles
Well, you
at the
probably
Best Buy
did.
account.
Knowing us,
It
you
it
probably
wouldn't be
did.
surprising.
But I
I,
just I have to comment on everything that has the Doctor Who logo on it is so friggin' expensive. But
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it's worth it. So
Especially in retail stores.
mhm.
yes.
You go into Barnes and Noble, and not that they don't have much Doctor Who stuff anymore, but
Well,
uh,
yeah.
their sonic screwdrivers were, you know, 35, $40.
Yes. So, all you
Oh
people out
yeah.
there in listening land who are listening to our podcast right now, my recommendation to you, if you're looking into getting anything Doctor Who, and that's anything at all, and you don't want to pay, an arm and a leg and your firstborn child for it, go to Amazon.com. Seriously. They have daily deals.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, the prices get marked down tremendously, up to, I think, 90%. I know that some sales are like that. You're going to pay a little bit for shipping, but it's worth it, because you're
It'll
not going to pay an arm and a leg in store. for something that you can easily buy on Amazon and wait a couple of days to get and pay significantly cheaper money for it.
It's true. Oh,
Reminds me, they
also,
need to come out with an
that's good
Eighth
for
Doctor action figure that's not in that pack.
Yes.
yeah, yes. That also reminds me, DVDs are good to find on Amazon if you're looking for like merchandise type things. Don't buy them from the official place. Go to like a con or something because everything there, like I think I got a sonic screwdriver like on the last day, and this is just con advice in general. Wait till the last day of Sunday on cons and just buy out all the stuff because people don't want to drag it back, so they'll mark it down for you.
Yeah, I got
Okay,
some
here's the
great
here's
deals
the
at.
thing
Life
with
advice.
um here's the thing about that, because I did a very similar thing with Gallifrey 1 and I missed out on a lot of things. What Alexis is saying is very true. However, make sure you watch the dealers that you want to buy from, because if they have something on Friday and their if their booth is incredibly busy, get it. I mean, we're not saying
That is
wait till Sunday, but I know I was looking at a couple of things that I really, really wanted, and on Gallifrey 1, I waited until Sunday to buy what I wanted, and it was all gone. So
that
I'm
that is true.
if the dealer you're looking at is incredibly busy, buy what you want. That is my
Mhm.
recommendation. Buy what you want. If you feel your gut instinct tells you you need it now, get it now. If so, wait. I mean, action figures, they will mark them down tremendously. Action figures are a dime a dozen. They'll have plenty of them. Stuff that it's limited edition, like pins, because I have a Six Doctor pin that's incredibly rare. I think there's
I
only
know
200 of them made in the world. I
you.
got one, and
Mhm.
I got it on the last day. The guy gave me a markdown. It was his last one, so stuff
Wow.
like that, you just make sure
Yes.
you get that stuff done.
The same thing happened to me because I missed out on the Fourth Doctor's song screwdriver, which I'm sure if I put in the effort to it, I could find online or something. But
Yeah, they're not
yes,
terribly expensive.
definitely go back. The dealer's room will be there. Go back and ask. Go back and watch. Just stock the table. Okay, don't stock the table,
Well,
but
no, seriously,
you
stock
can.
the table. I mean, stock the table even. Do it.
Yeah, check. Don't feel bad about checking back and seeing. Oh my gosh, they're running out of this thing. Maybe I should buy it now.
Trust
And
your
just
instincts.
use
Long story
yes.
short, trust your instincts.
But continuing on, I think that concludes our news segment. Now,
Yes, I was just going to say we are running very short on our news segment time.
so we are going to work through the doctors backwards. So
Like
we
James.
are going to, yes. So we're going to start with the 11th and most recent doctor, Matt Smith's incarnation.
Oh, Matt
Now,
boy.
oh, yes. This, okay, so let's start off with some good things. Favorite companion.
Well, I
Ooh,
was I was just
yeah.
going to say Donna, but then I realized that's Tenet. So,
Roll.
my favorite companion has to be, um, oh, let's see. Oh God, I don't even know.
Okay, I will go. I will go. It's gonna have to be Clara because she is the one I connected with most, I felt like, and also by default, I wasn't a big fan of Amy. So there you go, Clara. You moved up a spot.
I personally would have to say Rory. I I had
A
more of
good
a
answer.
I felt more of a connection with him. And like I said, when Amy and Rory first came in, I hated Rory and I liked Amy. And then as the show progressed, Amy got more and more annoying, and
Oh, I
Rory
agree.
became an awesome character.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going to say my favorite companion, and she's not really a companion, but River Song.
She's a
Okay.
companion.
Yes.
Well, actually, you know
Sure.
what? I take it back. My favorite companion is Madame
No,
Vastra.
take back.
Yes. My
No.
favorite companion is Madame Vastra because she's sexy, she's not human, She's an excellent reboot of an old classic Alien, and she's a lesbian. Well, I mean, in her terms, she's not a lesbian, but she's a lesbian, and she's sexy and hot and fierce, and you don't want to fuck with her, but she's such a cool cat. Like, she's so cool and calm and collective, but she'll kick your ass the next moment, and I absolutely love it. So my favorite companion
Very nice
is
answer. So,
Madame Astra.
okay. Wow, such diverging opinions. Now, to continue on this train of positivity, favorite episode, which will be easy for me since I just had to rewatch Series 5. I marathoned it with my friend who was watching her way through Doctor Who. Oh my gosh, I will never do that again, but, you know, I digress. Anyway, I'm gonna. Oh, is there somebody else who has an answer, or
No,
should
I was
I
gonna
go?
say, I like what you have to say. That's all. I'm just laughing
Okay.
at what you have to say.
Go ahead.
Yes. Um, I'm gonna have to go. Oh, now I'm torn between two, and I thought I was sure on my answer. Oh gosh. But
Well, if you
I'm
want
gonna
to
have to say,
think,
just because I rewatched it, I'm gonna have to go with Vincent and the Doctor, just because it makes me bawl like a baby each time. My other answer was gonna be the Doctor's wife, but I think I'm gonna stick with my answer.
Are we talking about the favorite episode now?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going with Vincent and the Doctor just because it, I think, dealt with such a very touchy and very sad subject matter in a good way that kind of wasn't patronizing, which a lot of things about mental illness tend to be written like. So I particularly enjoyed that.
You're breaking up a little bit on my end, by the way.
Who wants to go
Yeah.
next?
Well,
Oh,
I guess I can go. Um, well, favorite Matt Smith episode. I'm going to have to say, well, it's kind of a tough decision because I don't like a lot of his stuff, but I'm going to say the um, the Ironsides episode, the with the Daleks and the
Would
oh
you
god.
care for some tea?
Well, yes, but
oh,
mostly because that was my first introduction to Daleks. That was after I watched Blink, I watched that episode because I wanted to see what the Daleks were like. I wanted to experience them because I had so many, opinions about the Daleks and I'd seen so much stuff about them on
Victory
the
of the
internet.
Daleks.
What? Victory of the
Victory of the
Daleks?
Daleks.
Well,
yeah.
yes, I wanted to see what they were like because I heard they were absolutely terrifying, but I wanted to see what they were like, and I watched that episode and I loved it, and it was a fantastic episode. And by the way, I got to meet Ian McNeice in L.A., who is a wonderful man, a hoot to talk to. So, Victory of the Daleks is my choice.
All right, Scott, care to share?
Oh, God. All right. Well, it's kind of a it's kind of a three-way tie. I really cannot pick one. And I'm going to exclude Name of the Doctor. It was a fantastic episode, but
Yes, I. Yeah.
um, my three top choices, since I really cannot rate them, um, Nightmare in Silver, Vincent and the Doctor, and crap, I just had it. Rings of Akatan. The and a lot of people hate on that episode. I don't get why
I.
people hate on that episode.
It wasn't exactly my favorite, but I didn't hate it.
I
Did
loved
I loved the soundtrack to that episode. I loved the
Yeah.
music. I loved them taking advantage of the music. That was an
Mhm.
excellent part
yes.
to
Well,
that.
The
there's so much
what
fantastic music in Doctor Who already, and it was nice to kind of emphasize
well,
that composer's talent.
the big thing for me was they went back to all of the aliens being in actual costumes, not CGI'd. I thought that was a great way to do it. I was not a fan of the monster at the end, but that girl can really sing.
The Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, Well,
That's what I'm calling
or
him.
Oogie Boogie from
I thought it was
Christmas.
the girl that did the opera singer on, or the opera singing on America's Got Talent a couple of years ago. I thought that was her. I thought that she, yeah,
Jackie
something like that. I thought that was her
or something
singing,
like
but
that.
apparently it wasn't. It was just some other girl. But I thought that was awesome.
Oh my gosh. I want the soundtrack to be out for this season. Oh my gosh.
And then
I just
also,
want to
oh, go
listen
ahead.
to that.
And then also a note on Nightmare in Silver. Since you already explained Vincent and the Doctor, I'm not gonna go through all that again. But Nightmare in Silver, I was just very glad they made the Cybermen scary again. I loved the upgrading on the fly. I thought the story was very good. Did not feel rushed, etc., etc. Okay.
But seriously, upgrade.
Upgrade. We
Yes.
are Borg. You will be assimilated.
All right.
I am Captain Jean-Luc
So,
Picard, and I will kick your ass. That kind of sounded like Sean.
What the?
Never mind.
Yeah, a Captain
random
Jean-Luc
Star
Sean
I'm,
Connery.
Trek.
I'm Captain Sean Connery, and I'll kick your ass right after I have sex with Money Punny. Come here, Money Punny.
Anyway,
Stop
Don't
me.
I'm
Stop
chicken
me.
not stir.
let's move on to a little bit um sadder part of this recap.
Not sad.
What did we
What we
feel?
didn't like.
Okay, what did we feel didn't work about his tenure?
Can I go first?
Yes.
Okay. Everything. Because
That
well,
was my
Okay,
answer.
can you
I
pick a few?
yeah, I'm going to pick a few here. One, he was well, he started out very, very well. His writing was very well. His doctor was very well. Basically, his whole first season loved him. Second season got a little bit too romantic with Amy. Got kind of they had a weird off and on relationship. Got really weird near the end of his first year as the doctor. Got really creepy because he knew this girl from when she was a little girl, and now that she's grown up, they're kissing and snogging, and I thought that was creepy.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. I did not like this new season at all. I absolutely detested it, which was completely contrary to his second season, which I absolutely loved. I loved the silence. I thought they were creepy and magnifying.
Wait,
They played
you
a
liked
great
season
story
6?
arc. What?
You liked season 6?
I enjoy it. I mean, it's not
I
my
like
favorite.
parts of season 6. I like the ideas. Sorry to bounce off what James
Oh
is
no,
saying.
no, it's fine.
I love the silence. They're one of the few Doctor Who monsters that actually like creeps me out.
I was
Probably because they
absolutely,
look like Slender Men, but
I was absolutely terrified of the silence because I'm like, holy shit, this could happen in real life, and we have no idea it's happening. Um,
mhm.
well, I liked the ideas, like you said, Alexis. I liked the ideas of season 6. Some of the executions could have been done a lot better. His uh, most recent season, I absolutely hated it. I hated A Town Called Mercy. I hated, uh, oh god, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. I thought that was okay. Um, I hated the
Power of
god
3.
hour power
Mhm.
the hour of Power of 3. Oh god. I just I
That
needed
was
to
just
take it out back
bad.
and shot because
Yeah.
I hated the episode
The
so bad.
only thing that made that episode even remotely watchable was Brian Cox.
Yes.
Yes.
But I loved the introduction of Rory's dad. I thought that was one of the most beautiful things to come out of that season. And like Wilfred, Brian's dad can easily come back without any explanation.
Mhm.
However, I think there might be a little bit of bitter feelings, so that'd be kind of interesting to play off. Um, I want to see maybe Donna come back. I know it'd be kind of hard, but I want to see Donna come back with this doctor because I
Mhm.
want to hear their relationship together. However,
Okay.
this most recent season, it's so disappointing to me. But that's what I
Mhm.
have to say. The writing was horrible. They're
If
playing it too romantic, and they need to get back to playing an ugly doctor with all storyline.
if nobody minds me jumping in right after, because I have some things that will bounce off perfectly of what he just said. Um, yes. Somebody on Tumblr, and this is what I think the problem was, mentioned this. If, and I think the series, this is one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda things, but if they wouldn't have split the season in half, it could have been a lot better. Like, scrap the episodes that were horrible, like Power of Three and such, and just have made the others two-parters or done other things, it would have been better because it was kind of weird, I felt like, in the first part of Series 7, having this whole, well, are Amy and Rory traveling with him? Are they not? Back and forth, and when are they just gonna go? I felt like.
Yeah, well, I
I felt
feel the
like
same. I think that's why I didn't like the Power of Three. One, because it was too back and forth, wishy washy, and they didn't give a solid explanation as to what Amy and Rory were doing. How
yeah.
Here's the funny thing, and I've noticed this a lot nowadays with the editing. It's the editing. It's not the written part. It's what doesn't make it into the episode that really curves it. Because you watch Pond Life and the little mini series they made in between filming
Hmm.
episodes, it explains everything. It explains so much. It leads beautifully into the Power of Three, but they don't explain it. They don't have it in there. So I mean, you're just kind of
Yeah.
left hanging unless
It,
you got it from iTunes, like I did, and I watched it.
mhm.
So
Like it could have
it's the
been.
editing.
Mhm. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it could have been a lot better if they would have decided to either get rid of the pawns at the end of Series 6 and had like a full fleshed out thing for Claire, or have given the pawns one more complete season to make it, make sense.
Yes.
Because the only thing, slightly off topic, that bothered me about the name of the Doctor, otherwise such a fantastic episode, and I feel like it would have been for this moment, it would be, on pretty high up on the list of favorite Doctor Who episodes, that Clara jumping into the time vortex, I wanted to believe that that is something she would do, but I wasn't sure because she
She,
hadn't been around that long. They
she
hadn't
hasn't been.
developed a relationship to that point.
Yes,
Completely
I
but
agree.
felt like.
she hasn't. To me, she hasn't developed the personality of being a martyr. She doesn't seem like a
Yeah.
martyr. She seems like she's curious about the universe. I'll give her that. That's what I've derived so far. She's curious about what's going to happen. She's curious about what will happen. She wants to know more, but I don't think she would just sacrifice herself immediately.
Hmm.
No, not in
Exactly.
half a season.
Not in
No,
half a season and knowing this random guy, you know. But yeah, that was the big hang up for me. Also, like James was talking about, the whole child turning into a companion thing, it could be okay if it wasn't so creepy, like that whole slash romance, and then that mystical pregnancy thing just was, it actually made me, like, to a point, physically, like, almost sick. It bothered me a lot about what I felt like otherwise Series 6 would have been really good if
yeah,
that hadn't bothered me so much, because it just creeped me out, and not in like a good scary movie way, to my core.
I agree with you completely. All right, Scott.
All right. What I didn't like, pretty much the entirety of season 6. I
Oh,
I literally cannot go back and watch any episodes from season 6. I have tried and I cannot sit through any of them. Um Another thing I don't like, the way Moffat is running things like he's John Nathan Turner.
It's not
Let's
working.
let's bring in a whole bunch of new writers and new editors and not test them before we give them a show, and then it doesn't end up working, and then eh.
yeah,
Uh
like we've talked about before. Not that new writers are bad. It's just you can't just throw a bunch of like babies into a pool and say swim.
that's why one of the best episodes of season 7 was written by Neil Gaiman, or Gaiman, or however you
Hmm.
pronounce his last name. I don't even know anymore.
I think it's gay men.
But yeah,
All the gay men. Okay, sorry.
I
Ah,
don't I don't like the way Moffat's running things. I did not like season 6. I loved season 5. I thought season 5 was fantastic, and I wish they would go back to that sort of a way of doing things. Now, I have heard with season 8 that they're going to not be splitting it, and I really hope that's true. But yeah, the first half of season 7 I just thought was just awful.
mhm.
And
Here's. Oh, sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the second half wasn't much better, but it did have some rewatchable episodes,
Yes.
minus the
Yes.
Crimson Horror.
If you don't mind, I'd like to kind of like throw a little thing at you guys and see what you guys think about it. and you guys can work with it and mold it. When Matt Smith took over, he was interviewed, and he was asked how did he model his doctor, what he
You
modeled
cut
his
out a
doctor
little bit.
off. Sorry, I said when Matt Smith took over, he was interviewed, and he was asked what doctor he modeled his doctor off of. And he said he modeled his doctor off of the second doctor, which is his favorite, which is very noticeable in his costume and a little bit in his actions. What do you guys think about him modeling his doctor off of the second doctor, and do you think that it worked to his advantage or his disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Well, I think, yeah, comparing them, I think in any case, comparing this doctor to this doctor, or being like, I'm going to copy this doctor is going to work against you. I feel like just in general, as an actor coming in, you kind of have to say to yourself, okay, these guys did some cool things, but I got to kind of make my own acting choices, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly my thoughts too. Is they should do something
Um,
new. They should bring something new to
Hello?
the show.
Yeah,
Hello?
Yes.
so.
But well, me
hmm
being an actor and coming
But
into this,
the thing is,
oh, I was going to say, me being an actor and coming into this, I with what experience that I had, I would say my own personal acting style. I do like to mimic other people. I do like to base what I do off of other people, but I don't just make it solely them. I make it my own, and
hmm
I always like to keep that essence lying underneath of what I'm trying to do. And I think if Matt Smith tried to keep the essence of Patrick Troughton while doing the Matt Smith thing, it could work because that's what has worked in the past. They've always modeled doctors off of previous doctors, but they've made them their own. And that's
hmm
what works. There may be
now
different personalities, but there's always a consistent theme.
yeah, now this is the problem I have. Like, I actually, like Scott has said, I enjoy Matt Smith as an actor, and there are certain aspects of like watching his doctor I enjoy. It's just the show, I feel like the choices the show and the writers and whoever else is working on it has made have kind of hindered that. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, you just, but that's just me. So, any other thoughts on this doctor before we, move on?
Let's leave them in the dust.
All right.
Goodbye, Matt Smith.
Okay. Anyway, so the
To
10th,
David Tennant.
yes, I know James is excited, but yes, the 10th
Alonzi.
next doctor was the 10th doctor played by David Tennant, who I know, especially for a lot of newer fans, is the favorite for a lot of people. So let's dive right in. Favorite companion?
Donna. Easy.
Yes.
Donna.
Oh, okay. I have a different answer. Martha Jones. And I love Donna, but I just feel like I have to defend her every.
I like Martha Jones.
I do.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
Well,
James has such a vendetta against her.
here's the
I
thing.
know.
I hate Martha Jones for this reason. The only reason she joined the doctor is because she wanted him as a boyfriend.
Mm,
And she openly admitted to wanting him as a boyfriend. And I think that's absolutely horrible that they based their whole romance or their whole tenure off of wanting to snog with each other. And I hate it. I think, if she had a natural curiosity for what's lying out there in the world, in the galaxy, in all times and space, then I might have respected her a little bit more. I hate her character of Martha Jones. Freema Agyeman, on the other hand, is an absolutely gorgeous woman and an absolutely, beautiful person to be around. I hated Martha Jones.
no.
That's all.
Gorgeous
No,
is an
I
understatement.
actually
Just saying.
to work off of what you just said, I didn't like her at the beginning either, but I also had to respect her choices at the end, kind of after spending basically a year in hell and, being like, you know what? I felt that it was a very strong choice just to be like, you know what? I have to do what's right for me and leave. And I think that is a very positive thing to show, but we
I
shall continue on.
I also
You know,
did really
you
like
know,
her exit. Not
one.
Not
Oh,
her leaving, but I like the way she exited. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yes,
James.
I was just
her
gonna say
exit
only
is
one
one of
thing.
my favorite exits.
Only one thing out of Martha Jones's tenure came out that was absolutely wonderful, to me at least, and that was Time Crash.
Which one was?
That was the Peter Davison special, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, which was
Yeah,
right after Martha Jones left, and right before the Titanic smashed through the TARDIS.
I know
Uh,
what you're talking.
there
Yeah.
was Time Crash, and that was the only thing that came out of that was absolutely wonderful to me.
I personally liked Human Nature and Family of Blood. I thought that was a fantastic two-parter.
Those are, I
And
love those episodes.
Last of the Time Lords, and the one before that, or one after that.
Something like that.
The
Yeah,
last
I also like her
two-parter
tenure because
of
like she had some great episodes. Yeah, she had some great episodes in her tenure. So which leads perfectly into favorite David Tennant episode, which this could be fun trying to pick out.
I have mine.
Well,
Yes.
I guess Scott, you go first. Let somebody else go first this
It's a two-parter, so I'm going to include both episodes. The End of Time, Part 1 and 2. Fan
Yes,
effing tastic. Just saying.
definitely. Well, I guess my favorite episode would have to be Silence in the Library. I still watch that episode to this day over and over again. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. It shows, the true nature of the Doctor. It shows what he fights for, and it was the introduction of River Song. So definitely.
Okay, yes, very good answer. And because it was just brought up now while I was thinking about it, I'm gonna have to say Human Nature or Family of Blood. I can't remember which comes first
Human
because
Nature's first.
yes, I liked having them turning him human and also having the companion kind of having to do their own thing. I thought that was a great thing to show.
And to see the Doctor's
And
wrath.
yes, it was
The,
very
the
a
time.
well done two-parter. But okay, so what didn't work for this doctor?
Ooh.
Bad
This is
CGI.
gonna be what?
Well,
What was
I
that?
guess I guess I can go first. Um,
Okay.
what didn't work for me for David Tennant was never mind. Scott, you go first.
Uh, I'm going to stick by my answer. Bad CGI. I thought it ruined a few episodes. The one with the murder mystery writer lady. Can't remember her name.
Oh yeah,
Agatha
Agatha
Christie.
Christie.
Yeah, the Wasp. Oh god, it looked terrible.
That was
It
bad.
it was. I mean, it would have been a fantastic episode had it not been for that Wasp.
Yeah. I like the idea of an Agatha Christie episode, just not with the giant wasp person.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, otherwise, I thought that his series or his what was it, 3.5 seasons of tenure, I thought were
His reign.
almost flawless. I mean, there were a couple things here and there that weren't so good, but overall, I think it was the CGI that really brought it down.
I guess I'm gonna have to agree with you, Scott, that CGI really dug it into the ground for me.
Mm.
I did not care for some of the CGI. Well, you know what? I guess a lot of the things that came out of David Tennant's tenure was pretty good. Um, let's see here. I tell you one of the things I did not like: the animated specials that came, few and far in between, like oh god, Planet of the Dead. I don't think that's one of them, but one of the
No, that
CGI
was
specials
the Easter
that
special.
was just like all animation. Those I absolutely detested because the animation looked horrible. The acting was okay. It was sublime, but not something I'd want to watch again.
Now that you mentioned Planet of the Dead,
Mm.
that is an episode
For
that is the worst episode of David Tennant's tenure, in my personal opinion.
Fascinating.
oh, uh,
All right, so
I
Alexis, what's
oh man, this is like for all you such a hard answer because while he is not my favorite doctor, it's his, like you said, his era, the things that they had going on, the problems it had were so small. It feels like I'm just like nitpicking at little things. But yes, I'm gonna have to agree with the whole horrible CGI, and there were just, a few episodes that I didn't like Love and Monsters.
Hmm.
Oh, now that I think about it, oh, I had
I I
completely forgotten. You had to bring that back into my head. I had completely
I
wiped it
I
from my
wish
memory.
I could erase it out of my head. I really, really do, and I really want to, but I can't.
Planet of the Dead is now runner up. Love
Well,
and
I was going
Monsters
to
was
say,
awful.
here's some food for thought for you. David Tennant based his Doctor off of the Fifth Doctor because that is what he had watched as a child. Was the Fifth Doctor?
Yes.
That was his Doctor, and it is now currently his father-in-law. But
Like a
Yes.
boss,
yeah,
That's
but I was
just
going to say that
completely
is
ruining, not ruining, but making things very confusing as far as the Doctor's daughter and the Doctor's
yes.
father.
Yeah, that kind of makes it a teeny bit weird.
But
But
that is what I got is he based his character off of the Fifth Doctor, and I think I didn't see any of it. I didn't see any of the Fifth Doctor in there. I saw the compassion for humanity, and that was a very consistent thing. But I did not see a lot of the Fifth Doctor in there, and maybe that's a good thing.
yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like we were just talking about this. It's okay to, take things from the people who have come before you, but you have to do your own thing at some point.
And he did it very well.
Because, yes,
I
David
believe
Tennant isn't
the,
like
the
my favorite doctor, and it always gets me attacked. But it's just like, I'm sorry. I still have a lot of respect for David Tennant, and I think that kind of took the reboot off after Christopher Eccleston left. I feel like somewhere towards the end of his era, the show really took off on an international level.
yes.
But
See, that's one of the big
yes.
things
So
is David Tennant kind of brought Doctor Who into the light of the world. He brought Doctor Who mainstream, and I'm not going to hold that against him because I think it's brilliant what he did, and I think it's brilliant about his Doctor that he's just fascinating. He has a fascinating Doctor, a fascinating character. He's just a fascinating person, and he is not an actor. He is a fanboy playing the Doctor. He is a fanboy from way back playing the Doctor.
I think that has to be, yeah, one of my favorite things about him.
And even in his high school yearbook, he was interviewed and somebody had asked him, "What do you want to do with your life? What do you see yourself doing in a couple of years?" And even he said, "I'm going to play Doctor Who. That is what I'm going to do." And even then, he
And
knew at a very early age that he was going to be the Doctor. So
he did it, which it's very awesome. So they've, as we all know, have been filming the 50th anniversary special, and he just recently was talking about Matt Smith leaving, and he was like, I knew he was leaving, and I told him it was a good choice because as soon as I, stepped back in, I wanted to come back. And while the whole quest for the internet to bring David Tennant back as a doctor has been kind of obnoxious, I do feel where he's coming from.
I don't
definitely,
want him back. I mean, he was an absolutely incredible Doctor,
Mhm.
but it's been done and we've moved on.
Yes,
yes.
the show,
There's a lot of people right
like,
now asking for David Tennant to come back as the Doctor, and I completely agree with what you said. Time to move on. Time for the Doctor to not be himself again. Let somebody else
mhm,
take the roles. Let somebody else take the reign, and all will be well.
I still want
hopefully.
an unheard of actor to play the Doctor,
Or
and I want
somebody
an
like
older
Yeah.
Doctor.
Peter Davison, who was not really well known at the time, but his name was floating in and around there. I mean, even then, that kind of person would be perfect for the role.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Yes. Yeah, because the show thrives on change, and if it didn't keep moving forward and it just kept kept going back to the same old things, the show would not be successful at all because everybody would be like, I've seen this before. Why am I watching this?
Mm-hmm.
And turn it off. But that is how I'm going to conclude my little note on that. So, wow, we have gotten through both of them.
And how much
Everybody
time
can
do we
take a deep breath now. And what? Okay.
I have one thing to
Everybody
add.
can relax now. And yes,
Favorite quotes from each of the doctors.
favorite quotes. Ooh. Um, I'm racking my brain. I feel like just because I saw this gift earlier, I'm gonna share my 11th Doctor quote now. It was the one about, of course, things have to end because then nothing would ever get started, which I feel like ties perfectly into what we were just talking about. So there we go. My quote. Does anybody else have
Scott, you
an
go
11th
next.
Doctor quote?
I am not going to say the entire speech, but the speech from the Rings of Akatan, I thought when he was talking to the old god, I thought that was a very incredible speech.
The yes. Very well
Um.
done.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's your
Well,
turn, James.
I was just going to say, um, I think that the 10th Doctor episode where he sees Sarah Jane again. That whole moment where Sarah Jane is in the dark school, in the school with the lights out, she's in the room, and she sees the TARDIS for the first time in however many years, and David Tennant appears behind her and says, "Hello, Sarah Jane," and she turns back and she says, "I knew it was you." That whole moment right there, I guess it's more of a moment really than a speech. That whole moment, even thinking about it, gives me chills because this one moment, she was abandoned by the Fourth Doctor, kind of, and finally, out of thin air, here he is, regenerations later, and she sees him again, and she hasn't lost any of her old, I guess, lust for him. She's just there. It's like seeing an old friend again, and just that whole sequence gives me chills every time I watch it.
Oh my Seta Jane.
Oh, Seta Jane, would you like a jelly
Right.
baby? You
Anyway,
supposed to say,
so
no, okay. Never
okay,
mind. Go ahead.
I I cannot. I'm racking my brain for a 10th Doctor quote now, and words escape me. So, does anybody else have any 10th or 11th quotes that they would like to share?
um.
Mm,
Well,
I know you just did a quote for 10th. Do you have anything that you particularly liked from the 11th?
I was gonna say, I um, I really enjoy some of the catchphrases that have been coming up this year, um, or this whole 10 and 11 tenure. I really enjoy Geronimo. Matt Smith had openly admitted to saying he tried to make Geronimo a catchphrase, but it never really caught on. Um,
Hmm.
Sonic It has been a very popular one. Like, if it doesn't work, Sonic It. And this screwdriver needs to be a little more sonic-y. Needs the sonic stuff. Yes, that was a wonderful one. I don't remember if it was 10 or 11 that said it. But also the banana thing with David Tennant when he's talking to the clockwork robots. And he's talking about, always bring a banana to a party. Oh, wait, no. Something like never mind. You know what I'm talking about anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I know what you mean. Always the whole thing about bringing a banana to a party. Yes, that.
when he's yeah
Um,
oh yeah, I remember what it was. Inventing the banana daiquiri a few centuries too early. But yeah, that's what I
so
got. Catchphrases. Let's go over catchphrases.
ah. Yeah.
Favorite catch.
Alonzi.
Alonzi Rose
Oh,
Tyler. Alonzi. Alonzi Alonso. I want to meet a man named Alonzo. That way I can say
okay.
Alonzi
You know
Alonso.
what?
That
What James just said is my favorite 10th Doctor quote. I hate to interrupt you, but
Oh no.
I had forgot about that entire sequence, but that is great. Oh, I loved, this is another random thought, loved the Christmas specials from David Tennant's era.
Definitely.
Yes.
The Christmas specials were fantastic, but that's next week. Uh,
That save that for later.
yeah, but I thought the Christmas episodes were fabulous. Well, some of them.
I have one quote from the 10th Doctor, um, and that is from the End of Time Part 2, when the Doctor's talking to Wolf towards the end. The Doctor, it's gotten critical. Touch one control and it floods. Even this would set it off, mentioning the sonic screwdriver, and Wolf apologizes, and then the Doctor kind of goes in, okay, right then, I will, because you just had to go in there, didn't you? You had to go and get stuck. Oh, yes, because that's who you are, Wilfred. You were always this, waiting for me all this time. And then he goes into his, I can do so much more, and all that. I thought that
I
was
think
really
that
cool.
was absolutely brilliant because it showed the alien side of the 10th Doctor, which we had nearly forgotten.
Hmm.
It had
Mm.
showed his arrogance that for one brief moment he realized he can do so much more. He can leave this old man in this glass case until he dies, which probably would have been very soon because let's admit it, Wilf is an old man. I mean, this man
Mm.
has like what 10 years easy left on this planet.
Well,
The
hell, he's
10th
been with
Doctor,
Doctor Who since 1966.
something like that. I mean, the 10th Doctor could have left him in this glass case for eternity. He could have left and gone off and done so many more things, but then he realized what his one true meaning is, and that this is one point in time that cannot be strayed away from. It has to happen, and that was the one dilemma that was put to the 10th Doctor, was that this one moment has to happen, no matter if the Doctor likes it or not. It has to happen,
I don't
and
want to
that's
go.
what upset him. Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, enough of me
That
chatting.
was that was a great moment. I think through this conversation, I figured out why I don't enjoy the 10th Doctor as much as everybody else. Because before I watched, this is completely off topic, before I watched the show, I
You're
had
big.
seen so much on the internet, and it was mainly his era. Oh, I apologize. But I had seen so much of David Tennant's era all through the internet that I was sick of him before.
Ooh, I
Uh
think
oh.
we lost Alexis.
Uh oh. Alexis, you still there?
All right. I I
Are
think
you
that
back?
was, yep, we got through everybody though. So
You didn't finish your quote. I don't remember where it left off because you were really cutting out there at the end.
I was really cutting out. Well, I was just, it wasn't important. I was explaining that I think the reason the 10th Doctor didn't, I don't know, click for me as much as it did for everybody else is just because I had seen so much of him and I expected so much more, something much more different from the show after everything had seen on the internet, that it kind of ruined it before I got started.
Definitely. Definitely. I agree with you. I agree with you. It is very
Because
possible.
this is a debate I've been having. I'm just
Uh,
like, I like I like David.
Ooh,
yeah, you're.
Alexis, we're
I
losing you
like David
again.
Tennant's Doctor. I like these episodes and stuff. Why not enjoy him so much? And I just think the fandom, is that better? I think the
Yes,
fandom has just like ruined for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
that's better.
Speak quick, Alexis, before you cut out
I
again.
I
Ah.
think I think the fandom has just like kind of ruined it for me, which makes me sad.
Yeah. Understandable. Very
So,
understandable.
all
But
right. So,
okay, so I guess that should be our cue that we should wrap this little sucker up.
yes.
And
Like we said, next week we'll be talking about the Ninth Doctor and the Eighth Doctor.
ever so briefly about the Eighth Doctor.
Yes. Well, I can talk a lot about Paul McGann and his face and whatnot, so
And his
we can probably.
Well,
sexiness.
don't forget his audio adventures. They do
Well,
have
yeah, that's what I was
those.
going to say. Scott and I can carry on about his audio adventures because
And uh,
Alexis listened to a
my
lot of
goal
us.
my goal is to listen to a few over the next week. So
Yes.
that
Um,
is something I will am planning on doing
What was
because
the
I
other
like to be
company
an
that
active
did his?
participant.
James, do you
oh,
remember?
what was it?
He did audio adventures for two different companies, Big Finish and another one. Do you remember
Oh,
what that other
I
company
have
was?
no idea.
Was
Darn it!
it? It wasn't Audiogo, was it? Or
It was. They were audio adventures. I don't remember. There was a really good Dalek one, and I cannot remember for the life of me. And I cannot find it because it's not Big Finish.
Well, anyway,
um,
I think we should leave off with. Does anybody have like a little a food for thought question that we could kind of end on a high note on?
a food for thought. I would definitely. Why is the doctor? Why do you dislike the doctor that is your least favorite? Because I think for a lot of people, there's this whole thing. Well, I like all of them. There's some that I enjoy more, yes, and not as many people have one that they absolutely despise.
So I guess the question would
But
be, who is our favorite doctor and why?
Who
yes,
is
or
our
who is
least
your
favorite doctor and
least
Yes,
why?
that's what I
least
meant to say. All right, well, I
least?
guess I
Yes.
could go first. My least favorite doctor would have to be currently and unfortunately Peter Davison because I have seen the least amount of his work, and let's see here. I don't like what I've seen so far. However, I did watch Castrovalva the other night, and I absolutely loved it. So I think Peter Davison because he was kind of the young man doctor, and I believe he was kind of the not the romantic type, but more or less the revolutionary doctor that introduced humanity into what was going on. I don't enjoy Peter Davison, and that's my reason.
I am going to completely agree with you, James. I cannot sit through
Oh,
really any of his
okay.
stories.
Well, like I was saying,
Uh,
Huh? Huh?
what? Can you hear
What?
me?
Alexis?
I can hear. Yeah, I
Oh,
can hear
I
you.
was
You
gonna
can hear
say
me?
I was listening to Scott. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I got completely confused. I completely agree with you, James, for the simple fact that I have yet to be able to. Well, I take that back. I've sat through a couple of his arcs, but I really did not have fun watching them. I did not mind Castrovalva. Everyone said the Caves of Androzani is the best arc of Doctor Who ever, and I
That's absolute bullshit.
hated it up until the last episode. And then, let's see, I have tried watching. Oh God, The Visitation was just dry as all get out. There was one. They were at a masquerade party. I can't even remember the title.
Oh yes, the Black Orchid.
Yeah, and that's only 2 episodes long, and I couldn't even make it through the first 20 minutes.
I like the Black Orchid, but then again, that's just me. So
But yeah, I thought his Doctor was very, very dry and boring. And what was up with Chameleon, like coming for an episode and then just disappearing forever, and then coming back for a couple
With
episodes and then
absolutely no
disappearing?
explanation.
wait for it. Wait for it. He's a chameleon. Boom.
But
Oh,
yeah, that's my least favorite. And Alexis.
oh, well, like I was saying, to continue on with this, the 10th Doctor, not because I do not like him, it's just because the general internet fandom just focuses so much on him and it hurts my brain.
It
And
hurts your
I
brain,
understand.
huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I enjoy David Tennant, but there's only so much when I first started watching the show, I expected actually, from what I've seen on the internet, to see David Tennant from the beginning. I didn't know that there were other doctors. That's how bad it was. And
You
then I was like,
child.
yes. Well, obviously, I kind of realized something since then, but that's how the internet makes it feel, which is not a problem with that doctor. It's just a problem with the fans.
Yeah.
But anyway, one more thing before we go. And I'm going to try not to turn this into a whole huge debate. Okay, this is just something I was thinking about, and I want to send a PSA to the world. It's fine if you don't want a female doctor. or a person of color doctor, but making racist or sexist comments is not the way to make you sound smart. Just saying.
You are darn right.
I
Thank
completely
you.
agree with you there. I
Um,
hate the fact that, um, well, personally, I don't think that the doctor should be female, mostly because I don't think the show can hold up itself with a female doctor. But I think they could do it well. But that's my opinion,
I,
and I'm
I,
not turning it into
yeah.
a sexist thing. And
No, I know. I
well, yeah,
understand
I
that.
know you guys know that, but I feel like a lot of people could share my opinion, but they don't know how to word it right, and it ends up being very
Exactly.
sexist, or they're
Yeah.
intentionally making it derogatory, so
Yes.
that way um, it
And
comes out incredibly wrong, and they're in it for the rouse.
I
and while
personally,
I
go ahead.
and while I disagree with James, I don't think the appropriate way to say is like, oh no, there couldn't be a female doctor. She should be making me a sandwich. Like it's like really apparently creativity and misogyny do not mix. But
Apparently,
continue, Scott.
I was gonna say I personally agree with James. I do share your opinion on that. Um, it's the whole formula for the show has always been a male doctor, female companions, with the occasional one-off male companion, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't think it would really feel like the same show that has been on for the past 50 years if they were to change something like that. Now, on the other note, would I care if a person of color got it? Not at all. Would I care if a woman got
No,
it? Uh, No, I really wouldn't care. I
I
mean, oh, and what about this? A woman of color.
yes. Oh, I'll do
Ah,
it. No, no, that would be bad. That'd just be bad.
How about I
but
do it? I'm a woman of color.
I'm a
colorful
woman of
language doesn't
color.
count,
Yeah,
James.
yeah, don't.
Oh, colorful language doesn't count. Oh,
Note says,
but
don't mind James. He's mentally unstable.
yes. Well, I feel like personally, and I'll kind of end this debate after this. I feel like when they invented the whole concept of regeneration, it was to open the role up to any actor or actress in this case. So,
I think,
you
and
know,
me
but
personally, I don't think you should say actress because I think actress is a very derogatory term, and I think men
fair.
and
Yeah,
women act on a very similar level. Well, actually, on the same level, and I think women actors can be very powerful, and well, not to
I
do anything, but I think we should just say, leave it at actors being male or female actors, and on multiple occasions, even the 11th Doctor's tenure, they confirmed it that male Time Lords, can regenerate into female Time Lords, and vice versa. It
that
can.
is true. And we also saw, River regenerate from a woman of color into, the River song that we know. But yes, I do understand your point, James, and I would just want to make the whole actor actress thing clear because
Def-
I know that there are people who do not share that opinion.
yes.
But yes, so just you can have an opinion, just don't be a douche,
That
and
well,
that is
yes,
all.
and we would like to hear your guys' opinion as well too. This is not
Mhm.
just us communicating with each other. I mean, we want to hear all of our listeners' opinions. If you have anything that you want to say about what we've said, or if you agree with us, disagree with us, please let us know. I mean, we're not here
Mhm.
just to uh, twiddle our thumbs and be ourselves. We want to hear what you guys have to say.
Exactly.
Do you
As
guys think
much as
the new doctor should be female? Do you guys think the new doctor should be male? Do you think the doctor could
I,
be a person of color? I mean, let us hear what you have to say. But
Let's
be
have a
nice
think
green
about
it'd
it.
be
doctor.
interesting for them to have a female doctor. I just don't want Moffat as their showrunner because he has shown he doesn't always make the best choices with his female characters. So,
John
Yes.
Nathan Turner
yes.
Part 2.
The question marks return. Ah!
Oh, but leaving it on that note, yes, please share your opinions with us. But yes, and we might share some of them on the show in the
We
future.
will share some of them.
Yes,
There is no might. We will.
we will.
I
If we get responses and you have something to say, we will share at least part of it.
And stay
We look,
tuned for a special song from James at the end of this podcast.
yes.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
that is us signing off. And welcome back to Mad Fans with the podcast. And we hope to see you for the rest of the season.
Bye, guys.
Good night, or day, or morning, or whatever time it is that you listen to this, now that I think about it.
Have an enjoyable life.
Yes.
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? The doctor, 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 doctor.